Mindset. It's all about mindset. From the moment you wake up to the moment you rest your head at night. Everything is up to you. Your emotions, your thoughts, your perception, your reactions. Every moment. Rima Malal. Hi, my name is Lauren and I'm here today to talk about perseverance. In life, we go through things that make us feel powerless. We experience things that can change our lives and we face more challenges than we think we can handle. But that's life. Vince Lombardi once said the greatest accomplishment is not in never failing, but in rising again after you fall. On May 7th of 2018, my life got flipped upside down. I was playing in a school soccer game and it was almost halftime. I was at midfield and going up to defend my opponent and we were about 5 feet apart. She had no one to pass to. I was looking at her and the ball and trying to figure out what she was going to do until I see her take a touch and nail the ball. It felt like it was in slow motion, but everything happened so quickly I couldn't react. I feel the ball hit my face and everything went black. After the ball had hit my face, I fell straight back and the first thing to hit the ground was the back of my head. When I came to, all I could see was a bright light, like someone was flashing a flashlight in my face, and transparent shadows. All I could hear was whispering. I started blinking my eyes, and when I finally could see and hear clearly, me being the hard headed idiot that I am, I jumped up, but my legs collapsed and I fell down again. Luckily, my coach and trainer were there and they caught me before I hit the ground. My nose started bleeding and my legs kept collapsing. I wasn't crying and I couldn't feel anything. I was completely numb. My trainer and coach had to practically carry me off the field. When we were almost to the sidelines, my trainer told me that I was probably going to the hospital, and that's when I lost it. I felt hot tears rolling down my cheeks, but I had no facial expressions. I knew at that moment I wasn't going to be playing the sport that I love for a long time. It hurt worse than the concussion did. I felt powerless. I felt lost. I felt like my whole world came crashing down. When I got to the sidelines, the trainer took care of my bloody nose and checked me to see if I needed to go to the hospital. Luckily, I didn't. I watched the rest of the soccer game and then I went to the high school trainer for him to check to see if I had a concussion, and I did. It is now May 2nd, 2019, and I am still suffering from the concussion. Now, I don't still have a concussion, but I have what they call post concussion syndrome, or PCS for short, which means I still have all the symptoms from the concussion, but my brain is not swollen. Through those 12 months of trying to heal, I also gained some mental and learning disabilities, and those disabilities made it 10 times harder for me to get better. Through those 12 months, I, I went to several different doctors, therapists, and trainers. We couldn't figure out what was wrong, why I wasn't getting better. When we finally figured out what was wrong with me, it was about 6 months after I got my concussion. And the reason why I wasn't getting better was because it was more than just a concussion. When I got hurt, my head was hit twice. Once when the soccer ball hit my face, and then when I hit the ground. When I hit my head, I also messed up my vestibular system. And the vestibular system is one of the main systems in your brain that connects your eyes, ears, and brain. It is the system is what makes you aware of your surroundings and is how you know where you are in space. So when I injured that system, all of that was affected. It was difficult hearing that I wouldn't be able to play soccer for a long time, and it still is. But after continuously wanting to give up, I finally realized why I shouldn't. A concussion is actually a type of traumatic brain injury. With that, it can affect any number of systems in the brain. It most commonly affects the eyes and vestibular system. These two systems not only work independently but also together. All of this allows you to know where you are in space and at the same time be able to focus your eyes on an object while moving. It also allows you to be able to filter out distracting stimuli. We take this all for granted on a day-to-day basis, but when these systems do not work correctly and become overstimulated, end result isn't good and creates a lot of symptoms and problems. I'm not here to tell you my life story, but I am here to tell you why you should never give up even when it feels like your life is upside down. Wanting to give up is natural, but actually giving up is a whole different story. Everyone wants to give up at one point in their life. For example, when athletes get injured and they are out for a long time, I can guarantee you that every single one of them wanted to give up on getting better, but almost all of them got back to playing the sport that they love. Inky Johnson is a prime example of what I'm trying to get across. Inky Johnson is a very well-known motivational speaker, but he didn't start out as one. He grew up in a small two-bedroom home with 13 other family members. He was surrounded by drugs and violence. All of his uncles were in and out of prison, and he grew up without his father. Stability was non-existent, as his family moved 5 times in 9 years, all within the same town. Johnson dreamed of being a player in the NFL ever since he was a kid. He wanted to break a generational curse by becoming the first person in his family to go to college. And he did just that. Johnson attended the University of Tennessee on a football scholarship and played as their defensive back until he faced a career-ending injury. Johnson was playing in a normal college game when he got injured. What would usually be a routine tackle turned into a life-threatening injury. When Johnson got tackled, he got knocked unconscious, and when he came to, he couldn't move no matter how hard he tried. He ended up getting rushed to the hospital, and when he was laying in the hospital bed, the doctor rushed in yelling to get him into emergency surgery or he would die. When Johnson was out of surgery, the doctor told him he would never be able to play football again because he paralyzed his right arm. Johnson was in denial until he finally came to his senses. Johnson's motivation didn't die, it just changed a little bit. He ended up becoming a very successful motivational speaker and is still one today. Inky's story is an amazing one, and it changes your view on life when you hear him talk about it. But one thing you can take from this is to never give up no matter what life throws at you. When you are in a position where you want to give up, everything that happens is all up to you. Someone can't keep you from giving up, you have to. Every decision you make is all up to you, so make the right one. We fall, we break, we fail. But then we rise, we heal, we overcome. Kiana Azizian, thank you.